But I remember a Mrs. McLaughlin, an English teacher, and she said, one day you're going to be something. And I said, really? Well, that was ninth grade, 10th grade. I ended up unread mother, dropped out of school. And I kept thinking, one day, she said, one day I'm going to be something. So I get my GED, and I was a waitress. And I looked at the oldest waitress, 70 years old, carrying trays. I thought, oh, that could be me later. I didn't want to do that. I'm not knocking your waitress, they'll put food on your table. But in time, you take a look at the oldest waitress that you know, or server. Nothing's wrong with those careers for the young. But watch. And did Amway, Shapley, Melaleuca, did many of them. Because I've always had that mindset. I was told that I was never going to work, this is never going to work. And you're going to hear that for the guests. Your friends are not there to lift you up. They don't mean harm, but they hurt or they're stagnant or negative on the networking belief. But you're never going to make money without really true leverage. And the way JR and our corporate team put together in this company, we were losing our home. We had a mortgage, and we had a FICO score. I don't think it had a number to it. That's how bad it was. And my husband was a bus driver and a tractor trailer driver, and I decided I went into nursing. So I was a nurse's aide for a number of years. I was an LPN. I went to work at night because we didn't have a babysitter. We had 4 kids by then. And we were always looking. And all of a sudden, we decided, we got a second mortgage and we purchased 24 candy machines. By the end of the second year, we got the foreclosure notice. Now, and I was embarking on nursing, and that scared me because as a child, we moved every month or so. And my sisters and brothers and I all got separated since I was 2. But we got the notice, and the only thing I could think of, they're going to take my dog. And at the time, we had 2 dogs, a cat, something in a cage, a hamster, whatever they bring to my husband or the kids. But I thought, they're going to take my dog. Because as a child, every month or so when we had to move, I would get a dog or I'd get a cat. That was my sister and brother, because my mom became an alcoholic. But all I thought, they would take the dog again. And I was praying so much. And I said, I need something. And this guy, Mike, came, and I told him, he's a pain in the body. I said, leave me alone. He knew Hatton Penn was going to try something. And finally that day, he came. We didn't have cell phones. This is 30 years ago. And he showed me something that was so radically different. He showed me something that kind of looked like a God thing. It was, I could make money, but not on the failures of others. I can make money on the success of others. And it's such a big, big difference. And the people that, thank God I didn't listen to my friends. Thank God. You know? And so I go and I do get my nursing. I got my bachelor's in science. My background mainly cardiology and pulmonary. And I looked at the oldest nurse I was working with, 70-some years old, pushing that mid-cart. I'm not knocking nurses, but she was tired, and she had no way to leave. It could be me. Oh, I gotta do something. And joined this business, and it was such a change. I started making some money. And I said, oh man. So I'm looking, and I looked in the mirror, and you hear me talk about the crown all the time. I looked in that mirror, I adjusted my crown, and I realized, man, I was working for the wrong person. So I decided to put that adjustment on, and I looked at the oldest, healthy, wealthy, successful entrepreneur, and I said, the shoe fits perfect. And not to brag, but I have the Benz, I own a nice home, and I belong to some singles groups, we have a good time. And like my kids said, my mom gets paid to entertain, to enjoy life, to socialize. Where's mom tonight? Oh, no, you find her. Yeah. But the most important thing is to start believing in yourself. You go to school, you go to college, yeah, but they all train you to work for somebody else. Look at our system. We train you so you never have to. We train you so you never have to work for anybody but yourself. I was at a luncheon, this was about a year and a half ago. And hold on, I got time? Okay. Here's this nurse, a friend of mine, sitting with a couple of our friends that I haven't seen in 20 years. And she spots me, hey, Penny. And then, of course, she's the smart butt, okay? Smart ass. And she said, oh, well, how's that thing? How's that thing? I said, yeah, okay. God's so good. So we're leaving. Lo and behold, she happens to come out behind me. Oh, God, you're so good. She happens to be parked behind me. Now, I'm driving an S550 Mercedes. And she says to me, where'd you get that car? I said, remember that thing? So, it's going to come a time. And another thing, don't be afraid to ask somebody because you think they're wealthy and all. You never know what goes on behind closed doors. Don't prejudge because you're going to walk in the room and the person that you've been wanting to talk to is going to be sitting over there with somebody else. And because you didn't open your mouth. You don't know if they're struggling. You have no idea. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We put on faces. We have pride. Yeah. What if Mike didn't come back to my house? It was a broken down car, socks on a wiper blade. My husband said, they're going to tell us how to make money. I said, shut up. You'll probably be making more than us. So that's going to be it. I love you guys. Listen to me. Now go, my children, and multiply.
Penny Latford, ladies and gentlemen. Director Penny Latford, a big round of applause. I partnered with Market America in November of 1995. I am a big advocate for the products. I'm a field product specialist. I love to do general product trainings, health and nutrition trainings, we call them now. And in my almost now 30 years of being with the company, I have never once, not once, had to apologize for any of our products. I've never once had to say to someone, oh, I'm sorry that didn't work, or I'm sorry you got that. It's never happened. I've never gotten a single complaint. I've shared with you one time, I had a person tell me that their bottle of 120 only had 119 in it, right? That's not really a complaint, that's right. That's just somebody, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, here's the deal. A big part of the reason why we haven't had any of those issues and continue to bring on cutting edge products that are trending. You see it in your social media platforms that someone's talking about lion's mane or turkey tail mushrooms. The next thing you know, we're in that industry, right? You see somebody talking about clean protein. The next thing you know, we've got a clean protein with creatine in it for people that are working out like myself and Drayton, right? Mostly Drayton. So here's the thing. The reason for that is because we've got somebody who stands guard and knows that information, literally a walking encyclopedia on the ingredients that we do and the efficacy of them for your bodies. Please welcome to the stage our Vice President of Product Development, Dr. Deidre Mason.